In the year 2041, Prithvi, a young man driven by an insatiable quest for truth, stands before the elderly Mrs. Batra in a dimly lit room. With unwavering conviction, he declares, "I have seen it all myself in 2020. He is the divine truth, an undefeated challenge to the gods of death and destruction." Mrs. Batra, bewildered by his knowledge of events from 2 decades prior, listens intently as Prithvi reveals a startling secret. He has memories that place him in a clandestine facility on Ross Island, despite not being born yet in that year. Haunted by her own past, Mrs. Batra agrees to hear Prithvi's story in exchange for answers about her disrupted fate. The tale transports them back to a summer morning in 2020, where a helicopter lands at a high-tech research facility on Ross Island. On board lies an unconscious man, Om Shastri, covered in ash and bound by ropes. His presence emits an unsettling aura, and as he regains consciousness, the team of researchers surrounding him begins to unravel the mystery of his identity. Leading the team is Dr. Srinivasan, a disciplined yet eccentric scientist, along with his stern colleague, Dr. Batra. Brigadier Veerbhadra, a retired army officer and head of security, observes the situation with intrigue. As the team prepares to interrogate Om, they quickly learn he is an Aghori, a member of a feared sect known for their extreme practices. The researchers discuss the legends surrounding the Aghoris, including their supposed immunity to disease and their controversial rituals. Dr. Shahista, a renowned psychiatrist and expert in hypnotism, is summoned to assist in the interrogation. Dressed elegantly in traditional attire, she exudes confidence as she enters the room. When she begins questioning Om, he unexpectedly recognizes Dr. Srinivasan, calling him Chinna, shocking everyone present. The atmosphere thickens with tension as Om is forcefully sedated, yet continues to mutter cryptic statements that blur the lines between reality and mythology. Under hypnosis, Om claims multiple historical identities, including Vidur from the Mahabharata and Vishnu-Gupt, known as Chanakya. His assertions leave the team in disbelief, yet curiosity grows, especially in Abhilash, a researcher fascinated by mythology. As Om reveals he was searching for Subhash Chandra Bose, believed to be dead, the researchers grapple with the implications of his claims. Dr. Shahista suggests they engage Om without drugs or hypnosis, but Dr. Srinivasan is initially resistant. As they prepare for the next phase of interrogation, Om's extraordinary abilities become evident. He predicts weather changes and demonstrates knowledge of events he should not know, further deepening the mystery surrounding his character. As the story unfolds, the team discovers Om's presence in various government records under different names, spanning decades, and even historical photographs capturing him at pivotal moments in Indian history. The tension escalates as Dr. Batra questions the nature of reality, grappling with the possibility that Om may possess powers beyond comprehension. Through each revelation, the characters confront their beliefs and biases, delving into themes of identity, truth, and the interplay between science and spirituality. As Om Shastri's enigmatic past begins to unravel, the room fills with unanswered questions. Who is this man, and what secrets does he hold? The journey to uncover the truth has only just begun, intertwining their fates in ways they could never have imagined. In a dimly lit laboratory, a group of researchers gathered to discuss the enigmatic figure of Om Shastri, whose claims of having lived multiple lives across different historical periods sparked both curiosity and skepticism among them. Paramal, a nervous but determined member of the group, broke the silence with a stammer, questioning the theories of split personality and reincarnation. He prompted the others to consider a new explanation, leading LSD to suggest the provocative idea of time travel. Abhilash scoffed at the notion, insisting that the past is immutable. Yet Dr. Batra, deep in contemplation, noted that Om claimed to be Vishnu Gupt, another name for Chanakya, the renowned advisor to Chandragupta Maurya. This connection to historical figures piqued the group's interest, prompting Shahista to express her frustration with Dr. Batra's willingness to entertain such theories. In an unexpected turn, LSD revealed that Om's recitation included an original verse attributed to Chanakya, igniting further intrigue. As the discussion deepened, Parimal found his voice and confidently recounted the story of Chanakya, detailing his strategic brilliance and tragic death, which remained shrouded in mystery. Dr. Batra then shared the tale of Banda Singh Bahadur, a Sikh warrior whose unwavering spirit, in the face of brutal execution, inspired awe. Amidst the historical recounting, Abhilash introduced the concept of the yugas, 4 epochs in Hindu mythology that illustrate the evolution of time and morality. He explained that each yuga represents a different struggle between good and evil, culminating in the present Kali Yuga, where the battles occur within individuals. This discussion ignited a debate on the intersection of science and mythology, with Shahista remaining skeptical. Abhilash confidently cited ancient texts that hinted at remarkable scientific knowledge, including accurate calculations of the Earth's distance from the Sun and the speed of light, which left the room in stunned silence. He emphasized that what might be dismissed as mythology could, in fact, be history waiting to be rediscovered, challenging the group's preconceived notions. As the story unfolded, the narrative shifted to a tense interrogation room where Dr. Srinivasan confronted Om, demanding to know his true identity. Under heavy security, Om faced a lie detector that would reveal the truth hidden in his mind. Dr. Srinivasan's suspicion led him to call Veerbhadra, who assured him that they had secured the contents of mysterious lockers. During the interrogation, Shahista and Abhilash worked together to draft probing questions, focusing on Sushen, a Vaidya from the Ramayana, as a potential link to Om. As Om was connected to the lie detection machine, static images of his past flickered across the screen, revealing him as Sushen, treating an unconscious Lakshman during the epic conflict between Lord Ram and Ravana. Shahista pressed Om for answers, and he recounted his experiences as Sushen, the healer, leaving the team in shock. The implications of Om's claims were staggering. How could he have lived for centuries without aging? Dr. Batra, still skeptical, stormed out in disbelief, prompting a heated debate about the authenticity of Om's memories. Later, in a more relaxed setting, Dr. Batra challenged Abhilash and Parimal to reflect on the legends of Ashwatthama and Parashuram, immortal figures from Hindu mythology. The group considered the chilling possibility that these ancient legends could hold some truth, leading to a deeper exploration of their origins. As night fell, LSD and Shahista experienced a strange occurrence outside their rooms, heightening the tension in the air. Meanwhile, Veerbhadra arrived at Port Blair with a mysterious chest, watched by unseen eyes. The next morning, new discoveries awaited as ancient artifacts were unveiled, including a blood-stained book and a map that hinted at secrets yet to be uncovered. Amidst the excitement, Dr. Batra's growing obsession with Om's claims about longevity prompted him to seek a blood sample, despite Dr. Shahista's concerns regarding Dr. Srinivasan's approval. Meanwhile, Dr. Srinivasan challenged LSD with a map to locate a hidden place, asserting her skills as a researcher. As the characters delved deeper into the mysteries surrounding Om and the ancient artifacts, they found themselves at the crossroads of science, history, and mythology, grappling with questions that could redefine their understanding of reality. The weight of unresolved mysteries hung in the air, setting the stage for future explorations in their quest for truth. In a dimly lit interrogation room, Shahista sat across from Om, a man whose life story was about to unravel in a way that defied belief. As she resumed questioning him, she asked, "What other roles have you played apart from Sushin all these years?" With the flick of a switch, a screen illuminated the room, displaying a series of images showcasing Om in various traditional attires from different centuries. Despite the changes in clothing and era, his face remained unchanged. As the images flashed by, Om's expressions shifted from fear to happiness, uncertainty to calmness, until suddenly his eyes turned blood red and the images vanished. A pained look crossed his face as he remembered something unbearable, realizing that his life was now an open book, its secrets exposed to strangers. Among the images, 3 faces stood out: a beautiful woman, eternally lifeless in his presence, a strong warrior named Parashuram, and Ashwatthama, a figure filled with rage and battle readiness. Abhilash, a member of the interrogation team, listened intently as Shahista pressed on, asking Om about his past lives. He explained that these figures were among the 7 immortals of Hindu mythology, which included King Bali, Vibhishan, Vedvyas, Kripacharya, and Lord Hanuman. While the team was awestruck, Shahista maintained her composure, having faced distressing cases before, but none quite like this. As Om began to recount his past lives, he described being both an emperor adorned in gold and a slave in rags. Each identity he revealed, a frightened loner, a loved man, a fierce warrior, painted a vivid picture of his long existence. One haunting image lingered in his mind: a baby in his arms, the same beautiful woman by his side, eliciting a single tear as he opened his eyes. Among the names he listed, Govindlal Yadav, Protim Das, B.C. Chakraborty. Abhilash urged Shahista to ask about Vishnu Gupt. When she did, the screen revealed a bald man with a sacred U symbol on his forehead. "I was the chief advisor to Chandra Gupta Maurya," Om confessed. "I was known as Chanakya." Dr. Srinivasan, another member of the team, paled as he processed the timeline. Sushen at 7,292 BC, Chanakya at 321 BC, and the present day in 2017, totaling an impossible span of 9,309 years. As the interrogation continued, Om claimed to have lived through the ages of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and now Kali Yuga. Intrigued, Abhilash asked about Dwapara Yuga, to which Om recalled being Vidur, standing beside King Dhritarashtra and Queen Gandhari. The revelation that he had met Lord Krishna sent shockwaves through the room. Outside the facility, a masked figure watched with high-tech weaponry, waiting for the right moment to strike. Meanwhile, an old man monitored the interrogation from a concealed chamber, his fingers wrapped around a Rudraksha mala. He picked up his phone and redialed, receiving a calm response from Dr. Srinivasan. As Om continued to share his story, he remembered waking in a secluded hut surrounded by 3 rishis, the first faces he ever saw. One wise old man posed a profound question. "Before asking where you are, ask who you are." Om, confused and unable to recall his past, felt the weight of his scars and stitches, evidence of a brutal history. In the midst of the interrogation, LSD, another team member, immersed herself in maps, inching closer to decoding a critical location. Suddenly, she exclaimed, "Yes!" startling the guards and drawing their attention. Dr. Srinivasan pulled her aside to understand her excitement. She revealed that the map had been deliberately altered, hiding the true coordinates of an ancient cave structure in Sri Lanka. As Dr. Srinivasan relayed the information to the old man, a sense of urgency filled the air. The old man instructed him to send Veerbhadra to retrieve the hidden secrets linked to Om's past. Unbeknownst to them, the masked men outside observed Veerbhadra's departure, ready to alter their plans. One would shadow him, while the other remained stationed near the building. Back inside, Om prepared to reveal the unimaginable truth of his eternal existence. He recounted the struggles and connections he had forged throughout the millennia, knowing that escape was impossible. The room was thick with tension as he faced the reality of his past, the masked figure's intentions looming outside, and the implications of his revelations for the present. With every detail he shared, the suspense heightened, intertwining the fates of those in the interrogation room with the secrets hidden in the shadows, leading to an uncertain future where the past and present collided. Om, now known as Mrityunjay, recovered under the guidance of the rishis, including the eldest, Kasiraja Dhanvantari, the legendary healer, and Sushruta, the pioneer of surgery. Through fasting and herbal treatments, he healed while learning that Sushruta had compiled the foundational text of Ayurveda, the Sushruta Samhita. As Om recounted his past, Dr. Batra and LSD connected the dots. Sushruta had lived among sages developing advanced medical techniques, and Dhanvantari's wisdom had formed Ayurveda. The interrogation intensified as Dr. Srinivasan, agitated, entered, questioning why his image flickered on the screen. Meanwhile, Om remained unfazed, continuing his story, revealing how he had been resurrected using the knowledge of Mrit Sanjivani, a technique capable of bringing back the dead. Sushruta, aided by Nagendra and Devdrath, completed the Sushruta Samhita over a year. Mrityunjay underwent extensive surgeries, but an unsettling truth loomed. Each night, Sushruta met Kasiraja in secrecy. Devdrath was unaware of these meetings, but Nagendra, ever the opportunist, revealed that Sushruta was documenting Mrit Sanjivani. Mrityunjay realized he had once been dead and was now beyond time, never needing food or water, incapable of aging. Kasiraja entrusted Sushruta with the book and Mrityunjay's guardianship, warning that the knowledge was dangerous if misused. On the eve of departure, treachery struck. Nagendra poisoned the sage's meal and attacked. Sushruta, gravely wounded, secured the sacred text and entrusted it to Mrityunjay, urging him to flee south. For a year, Mrityunjay wandered the wilderness, surviving against nature and deadly attacks. Returning to the sage's abode, he found it desolate, the sages all dead. The weight of his immortality became clear. He had conquered death but lost everything. Meanwhile, Veerbhadra and his team reached Sri Lanka on a mission. A hidden observer tracked their movements. In an interrogation room, Om's narration continued while Dr. Srinivasan received Veerbhadra's call. His team had found a metallic chest deep in a cave. The old man, obsessed with Mrit Sanjivani's second half, grew impatient upon hearing the discovery. As Veerbhadra opened the chest, an ambush erupted. Gunfire rained down, killing 5 of his men. Realizing the dire situation, Veerbhadra split his team. Some pursued the attackers while others fled with the book. However, their enemies were highly skilled. Though Veerbhadra escaped, the attackers vowed to retrieve the book at any cost. Veerbhadra called Dr. Srinivasan, revealing that they had been ambushed and many were dead. Srinivasan confronted the old man, demanding answers. But the old man silenced him with a single blow, revealing his hidden strength. He declared that Srinivasan and his team were merely pawns, warning that those who asked too many questions never lived long. Understanding the gravity of the situation, Srinivasan and his team had no choice but to obey. Om's tale continued. He had wandered for years, hiding his identity as his body remained unchanged while those around him aged. He had spent lifetimes protecting the book. Meanwhile, Veerbhadra, clutching the book, tried to escape but was intercepted by a masked assassin who shot out his jeep's tires. Bloodied and desperate, he drove toward the facility as his men engaged the enemy, sacrificing themselves to buy time. Inside, Om's past was further revealed. Once revered as an avatar, he was cast out when people realized he never aged. His narration was interrupted as Dr. Srinivasan stormed in, furious. Om calmly addressed him in Telugu, calling him Chinna. The interrogation room screen flickered, showing a memory of a young Srinivasan being bullied in school, with Om intervening as his teacher. Tears welled in Srinivasan's eyes as he realized the truth. Elsewhere, LSD and Paramal received a coded message. 8:43. The countdown had begun. Paramal armed himself, while LSD unlocked a secret passage using a biblical verse. Meanwhile, a masked man infiltrated the facility, neutralizing guards and planting explosives. As chaos erupted, Om pleaded for release. Shahista and Dr. Batra hesitated until they found Abhilash's lifeless body. Parimal had eliminated him. Srinivasan, clutching the book, reached the interrogation room but was betrayed by LSD, who shot him in the chest and took the book. She then warned Shahista and Batra that she could kill them both instantly. At that moment, the masked assassin entered. Peeling off his disguise, he revealed his long white hair and golden bracelets, Parashuram, an ancient warrior. Meanwhile, Paramal knelt before the old man, who smiled, knowing his plan was falling into place. The battle was far from over. Outside, Veerbhadra and 2 of his men held the front gate. Shahista attempted to free Om, but the old man ordered LSD to bring Om to him alive. LSD shot Shahista and Om took the bullet for her. As Om bled, LSD executed Shahista. Parimal and LSD dragged Om through the corridors. Veerbhadra fought back but was driven into the kitchen. Just then, Ashwatthama arrived, another legendary warrior stepping out of time. Realizing the battle's significance, Veerbhadra sprinted toward the old man's chamber. Parashuram, enraged by Om's suffering, prepared to strike down LSD, but Parimal intervened. A fierce battle ensued, with Parimal and LSD sealing themselves inside a security room. Desperate, Parashuram hurled his axe, but the doors shut just in time, trapping his weapon. Parimal and LSD carried Om towards their master, Nagendra. Veerbhadra, still believing in his mission, followed. As they neared the old man's chamber, Ashwatthama engaged the guards in a deadly firefight, but Parimal and LSD slipped inside. Anticipating their arrival, the old man activated hidden mechanisms. Walls opened, revealing a secret staircase. Veerbhadra, realizing the deception too late, was mortally wounded by Parashuram and Ashwatthama. In his final moments, he apologized to Om, who could only weep as his comrade died in his arms. LSD, frustrated, pounded the door, but Parimal forced her forward. As they escaped through the underground passage, Parashuram set explosive charges, determined to erase the enemy's operation. However, the old man, LSD, and Parimal reached the shore and boarded a submarine, vanishing with the stolen books. As the island facility exploded, Parashuram and Ashwatthama barely escaped with Om. Now unconscious, Om remained the key to everything. His blood held the secret to immortality. Parashuram, gazing at the darkening sky, knew that the true war had just begun.